Warning: the following video presentation contains scenes of extreme deliciousness. Failure to either eat first or bring a snack to consume during the presentation could result in wanting to lick the screen or in some way act the fool. Ain't nobody want that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK.
Hey folks, how's it going today? Hey, you're kidding me. Avocado cream KitchenAid, lurkers, how goes it? Today, at least right here at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit accelerated because we've got people coming over. They'll be here at 6:30. It's currently 4:11, and it is a dairy and gluten-free kind of day. Somebody in the group has issues with them, and so today's meal's kind of taking all that into account. Hey Scott, how's it going, man? So what we're doing is, you can see on the menu there, and if you hit the menu command, we're doing a pork roast in the Instant Pot, and we'll make a gravy to go along with it. Then we're going to do some Hasselback potatoes, which I'll talk about once we get to them. And we're going to do some carrots. I was going to roast them, but then somebody forgot to get more grill foil at the market. That somebody was me. So I I ran out of the grill foil, the large size stuff, so I got to go get more of that. Anyways, because of the ramp up time and everything else for the pork roast, and the fact that it's going to need about an hour and 15 at pressure, and then we have to take into account the time that it takes to come up to pressure as well as to drop out of pressure, I did some stuff ahead of time. Specifically, I seasoned up earlier today this pork roast, then seared it off in the pan that's over on the stove at the moment. And then all of this vegetation we sauteed up and got some color on it because it's going to lend a ton of flavor to the gravy. It's onion, celery, carrot, there's mushrooms and garlic in there. And this was sauteed in the same pan that we seared off the pork roast, which is, like I said, over on the stove. So the big job that we have right now is we need to deglaze that pan. Hey, Adanzant! Welcome, buddy. Yeah, so welcome to the party. We just started. We're making pork roast with a gravy in the Instant Pot, Hasselback potatoes that we're going to be basting it with an aroma oil because one of the guests that's coming over for dinner tonight has a gluten allergy and a dairy issue, and so no butter, no sour cream, none of that. So that's kind of the plan of action. And then we're going to do a maple glazed carrots with gochujang, the Korean chili paste. So we got some stuff going on, but first things first, we need to go deglaze that pan, which there it is. All right. It is my biggest pan. It's a giant 14-inch all-clad that it was one of those things that we saw it and bought it because we had no idea if we'd ever see it again. And I have used it yay verily, and for some reason it's deciding that it doesn't want to focus. which is very odd. But we're just heating that up, and then we're going to deglaze it with... we are given a bottle of cider that was made down in Oregon in the Columbia River Gorge. And so we're going to use that to deglaze the pan, and that's going to form the basis of the gravy and everything else. I cracked it ahead of time just so that it wouldn't geyser, and I'm glad that I did because there was a bit of overspill. Getting all that yummy goodness. I will most likely end up be using the entire bottle of cider, since I'm not going to be using. I don't plan on using any like a cornstarch slurry or anything like that in order to thicken up the gravy. All of the vegetation here, wrong camera. All this vegetation we're going to end up pureeing in the Vitamix, and then that's what's going to give the gravy that kind of thickness. That'll be really, really nice over that pork. And the cider with pork is kind of a classic combo. So the only thing that the pork is currently seasoned with is that my secret seasoning salt that I've talked about previously. I was running very low, and I mixed up a new batch of it today. So that is in, that's what's on the pork roast right now. I didn't put any pepper or anything on there, mostly because if I'm seasoning something up ahead of time, and especially if I'm going to go sear it off, I don't like putting pepper or anything like that on it because pepper and herbs and other spices can burn. And I don't want burnt flavors in this. I want those deep brown yummy goodness that comes from the Maillard reaction and caramelization, which are actually two different processes, but that's a whole other thing. Alright, this is coming up really nicely. There we go. That is looking excellent. And I think we just about, we almost got everything on the bottom there. I don't want to leave anything behind because all that is just flavor. Trying to make sure I'm not spilling everything everywhere. Last thing I need is a mess over here. I am kind of curious, Adam Zan, if you're going to be participating in the that Survivor challenge that's going on tonight that Ghost Father's hosting, because I know Grant was talking about. I think he might be participating in it. I don't know if he's 100% certain if he is or not. He applied a little late, so he's not entirely certain if he got in. So I'm just curious if you're in on that particular game tonight. But that is almost ready to go, it looks like. Yeah, it actually kind of focused. There we go. Okay, so we got our yummy, delicious deglazed juice and cider in there. All of our vegetation that we sauteed up earlier, that's going in there. Oh man, combo those two together just smells amazing. I swear sometimes it's like I know what I'm doing. Okay, nestle that in there. Click the tongs to make sure they still work. Alright, we're going to do this on high for, because it's about a 5-pound roast, I'm going to do it for an hour 15. And then set it off to the side here so we actually got some room to work. So that's going to do its thing now. I'm going to clear this stuff away real quick, and then we'll get to work on the Hasselbacks. Okay, so Hasselback potatoes. For those that are unfamiliar, Hasselbacks aren't a potato breed. It was a, how do I put this? It's kind of like an internet phenomenon that popped up a couple of years ago. And what it is, it's you take a potato like this, and you slice it a whole bunch of times through it, but you leave kind of the bottom still attached, and then you bake them that way, and then they kind of fan open and everything. And they're impressive to look at, and it's a potato, and thankfully you can do it with things like russets, and I've got Yukon Golds, and I got some reds here. Not entirely certain what variety they are. They're probably, I think Burbank is the most common reds here in the US, but they'll work just the same. They'll just have slightly different textures and flavors because of the different varieties. But in order to make that happen, you got to do a little bit of work. All of these potatoes have been previously scrubbed. Need to switch them 2 potatoes around. Hold up. Oh, wait. There we go. Good eye, you're kidding me. Thanks for pointing that out. So what we got going on is we need to lay these just a couple of chopsticks from a takeaway place that we never used. And what's interesting is when you look at a potato, more often than not, it's got one side that actually is kind of on the flat side. And I've gone through ahead of time. Since these are going to take almost an hour and a half. Hey, Uncle Stinky, welcome, welcome. Since these are going to take almost an hour and a half, it's kind of like, okay, we need to get these going ASAP. So all we're doing, and this is the first time I've made Hasselbacks. I know of them, but I can't say that I've ever made them previously. Chopsticks go down so we don't slice all the way through. And then it's, okay. Okay, so mental note, maybe not right at the edge. I'm trying to slice these about 1/8 inch or so, which is going to be, what, about 2 mil? think where that one is at, if I try to slice any more into this end, I think the end's going to fall off. I need to keep these chopsticks from rolling away. Oh. There we go. So I can already see that, oh, there we go. Hey, Lenintha, thanks for the sub. I can already see that doing this for a crowd would suck. So maybe in the future, reserve it for just Mrs. Waiso and myself. Kind of what I'm thinking. Alright, so that. Probably about right. And actually, Levintha, their southern, reminded me. So I was talking with Mrs. Waiso the other night, and we decided, because looking at kind of the follower count as well as the subscriber count, that we're, you know, getting somewhat close to a couple of milestones. The first one being 200 followers. Hasselback potatoes, to me, are part baked French fry and part baked potato. Yeah, you're totally right. That's exactly what they're like. But we're close to 200 followers, which I'm at 166 right now. So much love and appreciation to everyone who's followed. But when we hit 200, we're going to need to do a giveaway. And in thinking about, like, oh, okay, well, what kind of giveaway do we want to do? And I thought that doing a combination of, like, say, the that seasoning salt that I just mixed up, some of that, some of my butt glitter, some of the pixie dust, some of the taco seasoning blend, and maybe the cool, like a set of the cool handle grabbing Dilma bobbers that I got at the Korean market that I use all the time. Doing a giveaway for those when we hit 200 followers. And I would think that we should be able to open it up to anybody anywhere. So anywhere in the world would be, because I mean, we got people Greece, Australia, Germany. But I think that would be a cool thing once we hit 200. And then the other thing, something to the same effect for the giveaway, once we hit 50 subscribers. We are currently at 25, it looks like. But yeah, once we hit 50, there's no reason why we can't do another giveaway. So I will post more information about that, and also we'll get a little widget going displaying follower count and sub count, so then that way when we hit it, we can do that. So that will be fun. This is going to... Shape of this potato is a little funky, so I'm not entirely certain how well this one's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. Oh man, I can smell the smell the pork roast coming up to temp. Although for some reason there was steam coming out the side. And that would be why. So the big red gasket here wasn't completely seated like it's supposed to be. Thought I'd check that before I put it on. Okay. Hopefully that took care of it. If not, then we're going to have some issues. Okay. Potatoes be sliced. So now I'm just going to hit them with this is grapeseed oil. Since we're going to be roasting them at 400 with the convection on. And we got to do gluten and dairy free this evening. That's why we're going to be making an aroma oil just based on these guys. the that magical seasoning salt that I made. Okay. Oh. Sounds like it's almost time to refill that. So this is just going into that 400-degree oven with the convection setting on. And then we're going to set a timer for 50 minutes. Okay. Alright, that is on, and okay, good. It looks like it's totally sealed now. Fantastic. That handy because we're going to need it. Get rid of that. This is a super cool temporary bottle keeper that I got when I used to work for Whole Foods. It was like a giveaway from a rep. I hung on to it just because you never know. But yeah, okay. Alright, that's sounding good. That's coming up. Excellent. Alright, so now we can start moving on to what we need to do for the aroma oil. Yeah, let me move that real quick. This. Clean. Okay. So that's some thyme and some rosemary that came out of the kind of the herb carton that we have out front, and got some garlic, just a small little saucepan. So my plan, at least for the aroma oil, is I'm not really looking to like chop up the herbs at all. I'm going to leave them whole. The garlic I'm going to slice up, and then we're going to add some more grapeseed oil to it, and then just put it over a low burner so it can steep and take on the aroma of everything, and then we'll base that over the potatoes. So at least that's the plan. Thankfully. I gave these a rinse ahead of time. Well, maybe I will chop up the herbs. I'm kind of thinking I will chop up some parsley to garnish. Oh, there it goes. It's on. For the thyme. Excellent. 4:39, hour 15. So, okay. So right around 6 is when it will finish under pressure. So we'll have to let it natural release for at least maybe 15 minutes or so. And then if I need to, I'll take it outside to do full release. So then that way we can take out all of the yummy goodness inside, turn it into the gravy before guests get here. They're slated to arrive at 6:30. So Mrs. Hueso assured me that she was getting out of work on time today, which which means she should be en route. And in theory, we'll be home in about 20 minutes. We shall see. So how's everyone's day going? How's your week going? Who's got plans for Canada Day / July 4th? Like, what's everyone doing? I know we're, at least for the 4th, we don't have anything specifically planned. The day before, we're going over to some friend's place, and we're probably going to smoke a tri-tip. Not sure what else. I need to talk to them, kind of figure out what the plan of action is, so then that way I can make sure I get all the shopping I need to done. Hopefully tomorrow. So then that way I don't have to venture out on Friday or Saturday. Even though the 4th's not until Monday and everything, but with the holiday and everything, it's just gonna get crazy at the market. Probably enough. Once I get settled from this move, I'm getting an herb garden set up again. I miss cooking with fresh herbs. Tired. Just got my car packed up to move a few states away. Driving out tonight. Wow. Been there, done that. When we moved up here from Southern California, yeah, we had, 2 cars, and we road tripped it over the course of 2 days, because we had our dogs with us and everything. And so, yeah, that was quite the trip. I came up with a playlist that would, in theory, cover the entire drive without any repeats. It actually went a bit long. I want to say I had about an hour and a half worth of music additional to what the drive ended up being. So as long as you got some good music in the car, you can drive however long you need to. Incidentally, when we would drive down to visit my family down there, most of the time we would do it in a single shot and just switch drivers. I will say the last time that we went down, that was probably one of the worst drives that we've had. I want to say like the first, I'm trying to remember if it was the first drive down or the first drive back that was quicker, and it was something like we just made absolutely phenomenal time. Like, traffic had a really good, average speed, and just overall a really great trip. This last time, oh my gosh, traffic, construction, it was just a nightmare. So I feel for you. My boyfriend made an 11-hour metal playlist I'll be listening to. Drives about 10. Nice. Yeah, I think my playlist, when I finished it, was somewhere around 18. But it wasn't just metal. It was metal. There's punk on there. There's a few random songs just because I periodically like to mix it up. That playlist actually is on my phone, and so a lot of times if I'm in the car, because I use my phone as a source and just Bluetooth it into the head unit, and I'll just put it on shuffle, and so it's actually kind of fun because periodically like songs will pop up that I haven't heard in a long time. I'll be like, oh hey, it's been a while since I've heard this. But sometimes it's kind of funny. For a while there, when Mrs. Weso would get in the car, it just seemed like every time we were driving somewhere together, like a particular song would come up. Usually it was like White Lines would end up coming up, or across 110th Street. Like one of those would always come on when she was in the car. It was really funny. So, okay, that is done for that. Now, there we go. There. Okay. So I have it on high heat right now just to kind of bring it up to 10. But then I want to turn it down to the lowest flame possible. So just that the everything can steep. At the beginning, I talked about how my plan for the carrots was I was originally going to be roasting them. But then when I went to get out the non-stick foil to cover a sheet tray with it, the roll ran out and then happened to be the last one because somebody forgot to go to the market and get more of it. That somebody was me, just so we're clear. But so we're like, okay, we got to pivot with it a little bit, but that's okay because I have a plan. I'm going to do them on the stovetop as opposed to roasting them. Won't take anywhere near as long, but yeah, we're just going to pivot with it a little bit and it should be just fine. Hail hydrate. All right. Yeah. So basically that's just gonna, since the oil's up at temp, what's happening is it's causing the water in like the garlic and the thyme and the rosemary to start to boil. And once all of the water evaporates out of it, that's when everything is really going to start to kind of turn colors. Thus the reason why we have it on low, so then that way it doesn't just burn to a crisp. Plus it also gives us a lot more flexibility and leeway when working with it. Yeah, you gotta be flexible with the cooking plan sometimes. Exactly. Being able to pivot is a fantastic skill. And if you can think on your feet, especially in the kitchen, if you're having issues with something, it is a huge, huge boon. If something is not working, if something is just gone wrong, yeah, being able to kind of figure it out and work around it, it's really, really important. So in this case, actually, I'm going to go get hand real quick. I'm actually going to be doing these in a big non-stick wok that I got here. And this is the big one that Mrs. Wayso hates because it's big and it's unwieldy for her. But I like getting the chance to improvise if things don't turn out how I expect. Yeah, and you know what? I like doing that sometimes too, where it's just like, you know what, I don't have any plan or something like that, and so I'm like, well, let's see what happens. Sometimes Mrs. Wayso kind of comes at me, you know, from left field, says, hey, why not this? Okay. A lot of the time I tend to have things planned out at least, so then that way it's like, okay, I know I need to take stock of what I have, and then I can figure things out from there, or okay, I'm gonna do this, so I need to like go to the market. And sometimes it's like, okay, well, I gotta plan ahead, especially if I have to go to a Korean market or something like that. I gotta make sure I plan that out, because I can't just hop in the car and go due to multiple freeways and traffic and things like that, because it's not all that close to me. But I'm thinking Saturday. I was thinking about what to do for Saturday, and something that came up that I think we're going to do this. It does mean that I'm going to have to go do some specialized shopping probably tomorrow, but that's okay. One of our favorite takeaway meals when we have a chance to get it, it's a Vietnamese vermicelli noodle salad. Don't ask me to pronounce the actual name because I'll just butcher it, but it's rice noodles with like lettuce and bean sprouts and cucumber. There's usually some kind of grilled meat, maybe an egg roll or something like that. There's some fresh herbs and everything in there, and then there's a kind of a fish sauce based dressing that goes over it. And we absolutely adore it. We order it from this one particular place, and that's kind of our go-to place if we're ever going to get it. And they know me by name and they know the order. So I'm thinking I'm thinking we'll make that on Saturday. We'll marinate the pork. We'll get it skewered and grilled. Might do some shrimp at the same time for it. Yeah. So I think that'll be good. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. The other thing I was kind of thinking about was I have a lot of cookbooks, and a friend of mine asked a question about, like, you know, how many of you have, you know, a whole bunch of cookbooks, and have you made things out of all of them? And for the most part, I can say yes. There are some that I haven't really tackled. A lot of times, some of the books that I have are really kind of for reference, at least for me. But what I thought would be kind of interesting is, say, in a particular month, it's like, okay, well, we're going to focus on the recipes from this particular cookbook. So it won't be like, I forget the name of that blogger that kind of made it famous for cooking her way through the entire Julia Child cookbook. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I have a copy of it, but I totally spaced on the name of it. But they made a movie of it, starred Rachel Adams, where the woman cooked through the entirety of Julia Child's first cookbook, and made everything from it and blogged about it and kind of did the whole thing. And I think she did it over the course of like a year or something like that. I'm not looking to do something that extensive of the entire cookbook. Oh, Mrs. Wayso is home. Hey, baby! But I thought, you know, if we, like, these are kind of the cookbooks that I have, you know, what does chat want to kind of see stuff made out of? And then over the course of the month, it's like, okay, every time we're going to try something different out of them. Some of the cookbooks that I have could get a little crazy, especially like some of the Thomas Keller cookbooks, because I have, I think, 3 of them. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
How was your day?
Good.
Good.
I'm hungry.
Good. Well, dinner will be right around 6:30.
Okay.
So that's...
What is dinner?
Oh!
Exclamation point menu. Go.
Exclamation point menu?
Yeah.
Okay. So, exclamation point menu.
I should just look on the board.
Yeah, it's on the board here.
I'm to look on the board. I'm sorry.
Reading is fundamental.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
We need to talk about this.
Yes. So the pork roast is going.
Nice.
The potatoes are in the oven.
Nice.
And we're making the aroma oil right now since no butter or cheese or gluten stuff. But that's okay because we have to be able to work with these limitations sometimes.
Yes. I'll be back.
Okay. No worries. Go do your thing.
Thanks.
So, but yeah. Kind of work through the book and be like, okay, well, here's like a pretty decent overview over the course of like a month. So, like I got a whole bunch of books, and at some point we'll take a camera out there and we'll kind of gaze through the library, and then we'll put some options up like on the Discord or something like that, and then let people vote for like, hey, what cookbook do we want to cook out of this month? And then we'll kind of tackle it from there. I do have a couple of cookbooks from a Vietnamese Australian chef by the name of Luc Nguyen. He's had a few different TV series that have aired on, I don't know, it's like Food Network, a couple of other networks. But they're amazing shows. A lot of it is him traveling in Vietnam. He also did one where he traveled the length of the Mekong River from kind of the source all the way where it drains out to the sea, and food kind of along the way. That one was more of a eating trip as opposed to a cooking trip, but it was amazing just to kind of see how things change moving down the river and through China, like into Vietnam, and from north to south, and how everything has changed up. So yeah, really cool series, and his books are really good. They're really nice quality too. I was thumbing through them the other day. They're at my desk. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So, it is just about 5 o'clock, which means the guests will be here in an hour and a half. We've got about an hour until the timer goes off on the Instant Pot, and 27 minutes on the potatoes. And the aroma oil is coming along very nice, smelling really good at least. And of course that camera is totally frozen, so F in the chat for the camera. Good times. Okay, so we should probably talk about the carrots. I mean, they're not going to take all that long. It'll probably come together within the last 30 minutes or so. It is, for ease, I decided to go with baby carrots because you don't have to do anything to them. And I think with Mrs. Weiss and myself, it'll be a total of 6 people tonight. So we'll be able to feed the crowd, as it were. As for the maple glaze with gochujang, thinking we should mix up that sauce now, at least just have it kind of ready to go. So I'm going to run out to the garage real quick and grab the gochujang, and then we'll start putting it together. Okay. Gochujang. Hot pepper paste. That's what we got going on. And let's see. garlic. Not sure how much is left. The maple syrup. Thankfully, I have more, so we got that. And let's see, what else should we? Oh, hey, what's up, Scott Connor? We want roast. We want roast. Hey, Accidental Chaos. Welcome, welcome, buddy. Right now we're kind of in a bit of a lull because the pork roast with all of the aromatics and everything is in the Instant Pot. It's doing its thing. What I did was previously today I seasoned up a chunk of pork shoulder with my previously known as the kombu salt, but this is just kind of the magic salt is what I'm calling it now. Seasoned it up and let it hang out for a few hours to really soak in. Seared off the pork earlier, then sautéed up all of the vegetation that's went into the Instant Pot. So it's a gargantuan onion. I would say it's on the colossal scale, is probably what the USDA would classify it as. I mean, that's like softball sized for reference. And it was this big. So the onion, did a whole bunch of mushrooms, did some celery, carrots, garlic, sauteed that up in the same pan that we seared off the pork roast, then deglazed it with this bottle of cider that was given to us by our neighbor. Ooh, that's a big onion. Yes, it is a big onion. I'll take potato and a bowl of gravy. We will make that happen, you're kidding me. If I didn't make Hasselback potatoes, I know. He would have been a little upset by that, plus it just would have been a giant mess all over the floor. I used the bottle of cider that we got from our neighbor. So,
From Duck Duty?
from Duck Duty.
Go try Duck Duty tonight.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, tonight, tomorrow.
Okay. Our neighbor behind us has some ducks, and so Muscovy ducks, and so Mrs. Wayso periodically takes care of them and gets them into their pen overnight. Anyways, that bottle of cider was a thank you for taking care of them at one point. So, how do I like using the Instant Pot? You know what's funny, Scott Connor, is that I've been using it a lot recently, like a lot more than I thought I would, and not just for making stocks, like using it to the. I used it 2 days ago. I didn't use it yesterday, but I did use it 2 days ago. Because 2 days ago is when I made the quesadilla tacos. That came out great. Made it for used it for the chicken soup. A whole bunch of stuff. Instapot. Yeah, Instapot, aka Instant Pot. I just called it Instapot. It's fantastic for chili. You know what? I have yet to make chili in it, but I bet it is really good. I can't say that I would find myself using it for really short cooks. Just because the time savings for me wouldn't necessarily it doesn't justify necessarily dirtying up the entire Instant Pot. I was scrolling through food stuff like I do, and one of the sites that I was on was talking about doing Instant Pot broccoli, which was okay, put the broccoli in the steamer basket in the Instant Pot with a cup of water and set it for 1 minute. Why wouldn't I just do it on my stovetop? Is it a pressure cooker? Yes, the Instant Pot is in fact a pressure cooker. It is, well, it's actually just right down here. But yeah, it's a pressure. It's not a stovetop like a traditional pressure cooker, but it's an electronically controlled pressure cooker that has an induction coil in it, and that's what brings it up to temp. But thankfully, all the pressure stuff is totally mechanical, so it's not beholden to the power. But you just got to make sure that you clean it and stuff like that, which is what I do. You make rice in yours? Oh, very cool. I have yet to make rice in it. Yes, you
That's
can.
a super expensive rice cooker.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. Is I have a really nice rice cooker, and so like I use that for rice. I haven't made rice in here yet. Oh, I did make hummus with it. That actually turned out quite nice. I was really happy with the results of that, and so I want to start making more beans and legumes with it. So just because getting those into the diet would be a good thing from a macros and nutritional standpoint, which interestingly enough, so I know the term macros, I have no idea what it actually means, but Mrs. Weso, when she was actually tracking her food and counting her macros and everything like that. She still counts her macros. Or do you?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
I
that.
have an app that I type in my food per day.
Have I made queso in it? No, I've not made queso in there
You
yet.
should. Some nacho cheese.
Hey, Cregan, what's going on? Use yours a lot to make Italian beef for sandwiches. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can imagine that this would be fantastic for it. Count mine too. Yeah, fresh hummus is super good. So, that's weird. Something was flashing up on the computer, but that's all good. Hey, Lumpy's here. Maple glazed carrots. Yes, it is. Macros is just macros minus the S. No, it is very different. Macros is very, very different. Macros is amazing.
Except for Min.
Except for Min May. We hate Min May. Or I do at least.
We all do. Everyone should.
Yeah, everyone should hate Min May. Been key in my weight loss these past few months. Oh, awesome. That's awesome, Ladintha. You know what's interesting is one of the things that we were talking about doing is because, like, I know the term macro, but I know nothing about it, but Mrs. Weso does, is if we can, let me rephrase. If I can plan ahead, because it's going to be all me, and let her know, like, what I'm doing and what's in it, she can actually figure out the macros, so then that way we can convey that information to all y'all. Right. So then that way you have that information and, you know, can do what you want with it. Yeah, Min May was the worst. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I met the composer of the original theme, like the original Japanese theme for Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. It was at Anime Expo, which is taking place this weekend. Oh gosh, this would have been maybe 2001? No, it wasn't 2001. I think it was like 2004, maybe. I think it was like the last year before they left the Anaheim Convention Center and moved it up to LA Convention Center, which I never went once it moved up to LA just because I hate LA Convention Center. Even for E3, it was just, hated it. Anyways, but yeah, I met the composer. He was walking around Anime Expo with a small TV crew because they were talking to, you know, people, because here they are at an American anime convention of all things. And it was, you know, oh, this is so-and-so, and I didn't know the gentleman's name. And they're like, hey, can we talk to you? I'm like, sure, I'll talk to him, why not? And they introduced, oh, this is, you know, Sensei so-and-so. He's a composer. Oh, fantastic. What series, you know? And so she started listing off like a whole bunch of them. And of course they were all, they were mostly older series. But then when she mentioned Macross, it was just like my eyes lit up. Because I had the original Japanese OST on, I think it was like a 2 CD set or something like that. And yes, more Veritech battles. Always more Veritech battles. Still have your Jetfire Transformer toy, which was actually real. Yes, it was. It was in fact a Veritech. I don't remember if I had a metal Skull Squadron leader Veritech that I purchased. This would have been, again, it's probably about 2004 or something like that. But anyways, mentioned Macross, my eyes light up and I start singing the original opening. So Macross. And then oh my gosh, she got so excited that, like, you know, here's this random giant white boy on the other side of the world, and he, you know, familiar with the song, and so it was one of Phoenix from Gatchman. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, that was fun. Then there was I think what, I don't remember if it was the year before that one. There was outside the convention center in one of the parking lots of the hotels there. This was in Anaheim. They had set up like a Japanese summer festival, like pretty true to form. Pretty yes, I like the summer festivals that they have in Japan. And we can talk as much about toys as we can about food. Yes, we can. And yeah, they set up this festival, and you know, we were running around and enjoying it and just having a good time. And one of the guys in the group of friends that I was with, he had been studying Japanese for a while, and had been he was working at Toyota. But we're sitting there, we're, you know, chatting up these gentlemen that happen to be there, and come to find out they were the president, vice president, and like one of the lead directors at Studio Gonzo, which is a really famous animation studio over in Japan. And they were working on, at the time, the Samurai 7 anime, and it was airing in Japan at that time. And I think, like, only, if I remember correctly, only the first couple of episodes had aired. And, and I'm like, yeah, it's really great. And they're like, it's airing in Japan. How do you know about it? And I was just like, no reason. It's like, yeah, that was an interesting conversation, because it was well known, at least amongst the Japanese studios and everything, that the fan subs and the anime piracy that took place, and how there was a lot of downloading in the US. And it was one of those things that's, yes, on paper you're stealing sort of thing, but it was also something that they officially reprimanded and hated, but unofficially, like, everybody was totally supportive of it, because it just exploded the US audience like crazy. So that was a semi-embarrassing yet fun conversation with the gentleman. So mentioning Robotech makes me automatically think about riffs. Thank you, Palladium. Agreed. Yeah, and Palladium has got a pretty storied history the last few years, but I was always a big fan of the Palladium system, and the fact that you could use that gaming system amongst like Heroes and Super Size. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was in the Palladium system. You had Rips, you had Robotech, you had what else did they do? They did an RPG that was based on like Vietnam War era stuff. I forget the name of it, but it was one of the things that they did. And I actually really liked the Palladium gaming system. I mean, yes, it wasn't perfect, but it had a lot going for it that I really liked. So, I don't know, that was just me. Totally read your announcement as instant pork roast instead of instant pot roast. I was concerned that someone had kidnapped a reel. Yeah, poof, instant pork roast. Tie me up, you know, just string me up, but I'm your pork roast. Oh, man. I only have 22 days left of being 27. I'm sad. You know what, Accidental Chaos? Don't be sad. I will, you know what, as somebody who's got literally 20 years on you, I gotta tell you, like, 30s are pretty great. At least, in my opinion, they were. 30s are pretty great, because it's like you're out of the 20s, you're kind of out of that craziness, you're a little bit more established. In theory, you've been, you know, working, and you actually have a decent income, so you can actually do stuff. So 30s are pretty good. At least for me, they were. Yeah, Kevin Simbeta had a license for a tabletop Macross game and pissed a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, the whole palladium thing the last few years, like I stopped reading a couple of years ago just because it had gotten so nuts that I was just like, I gotta walk away. I just gotta walk away from it. Because it sounded like they had done kind of like Kickstarters or something and weren't delivering. I don't know, it's kind of odd, but that's where you were. The game you were thinking about was called Recon. That was it. That was the name. Thank you, Punisher. I don't know about any of these last few years. I just reminisce about Rift's campaign and played as Super Spy. Nice. Yeah, Rift's was a cool campaign setting for like all the cool mechs, but then you also had the potential for magic and a whole bunch of other stuff. Rifts was pretty cool. I can't say I played it a heck of a lot, mostly because I didn't have any friends that were really into the Rifts world. We mostly played AD&D 2nd Edition, just to kind of age myself a little bit. What would it be, 27 again? Yeah, the game. There was no way that the real Decay would ever make an instant pork roast. Yeah, I'm not that good. Just add water. 27 is literally half your age. Yeah, you know, it happens. Aside from my body flaming part, 40s have been the best so far. I will say the 40s haven't been that bad, honestly. I thought turning 40 was going to be like, oh, this is going to get weird, but it's just like, no, not really. Not really. 42 was a good year just because, you know, the life, the universe, and everything. So, there you go. Want to switch age? Nothing changes but my physical age, then yes, absolutely, totally. And now I want to play Metcon Zeta again. I am not familiar with Mecton Zeta. I'm not familiar with that. Huh. Oh, for those that have recently popped in and maybe weren't here earlier when I was talking about it, and Mrs. Weiss was gone, so it's fine. We're getting semi-close to 2 different milestones. The first being 200 followers, currently at 166. So we're 34 away. And then the other one being 50 subscribers. We're currently at 25. Anyways, at 200 followers and at 50 subscribers, we're going to do 2 giveaways. In the giveaways are going to be some of that magic salt that I make. There's going to be some butt glitter. There's going to be some pixie dust. There's going to be some of the taco seasoning. And I'm also thinking a pair of my favorite handle dealies for grabbing stuff out of the oven. And also these super helpful giant tweezers. And I'm thinking we'll open it up to basically the world. So once we hit those numbers and everything, then we'll do a giveaway. We'll do it on stream. I just got to figure out how to set it up since I'm not using Streamlabs, which usually has that stuff built in. So I got to figure out how to do it a different way. But that's okay. We have a little bit of time. But yeah, we'll open it up. We'll do it on stream. We'll make sure that there's plenty of announcements ahead of time, so then that way anybody who wants to be around for it can be around for it. And then when I mail it out, be sure to write Decay butt glitter in giant letters on the outside. Oh yeah, you totally. It'll be like, warning, contains butt glitter. I'll make sure to put that real big on the outside. So yeah, that's the plan. So, woo! Because yeah, this is exciting. I mean, we're things are moving along. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So tell me about Mecton Zeta, Lenintha. Is it an RPG? Is it a tabletop? I may be up there to claim my prizes, so no shipping needed. And yeah, should you happen to be here, that is fine too. Whatever's clever, I can't say I'd mind, hand delivering. But, okay. Ooh, that is smelling very nice. It's smelling good. It's looking good. Maybe up there to claim. Yeah. It's a tabletop RPG that you can pilot a mech in. Oh, right on. It's not. Okay, so it's not like in the same vein as like BattleTech, where it's more miniature based, but there's actual like it's more of an actual RPG. I had a friend back in high school who was big into like game design and stuff like that, and he ended up working for Blizzard for I don't know how long. I don't think he's there anymore though. And he had developed this mech-based game, and it wasn't like a miniature based or anything like that. But you can kind of design your mech, and then you had like a couple of different weapon types and things like that. And we would play it and kind of play test. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I think we were like 14 or 15 at the time, but we had a great time doing it. So there was a Mech Warrior RPG. Oh, I didn't realize that. Came out in '84, but I haven't met many people who know about it. Huh. See, one of my favorite sort of like tabletop games, it was a Steve Jackson game called Car Wars, which has been around forever and a day. There were some older guys that actually they founded the sci-fi club at my high school. They had Car Wars, and we'd set up, you know, the whole paper thing, design the cars, and oh man, I love that game. It was a lot of fun, and the first introduction to turning radiuses and speed and kind of having to plan your turns ahead. So you're like, what do you mean I can't like turn on a dime? Oh, I got to think and like how I'm going to curve it around. And I'll never forget this one game that we played. It was in an arena, and there was a ramp in the middle of it, and there was a couple of other obstacles. I think there was like 4 or 5 of us playing. And at one point, I ended up going off the ramp in reverse, and my turn ended literally with me mid-air. And then the next one, I ended up firing on the one remaining player and winning in reverse. It was a lot of fun. Then there was a card game that came out, which I still have. I don't know if it's in the closet. Deluxe new version of Car Wars just came out a couple of months ago. I used to play a lot of Orger. Oh, I did not know that they just came out with a new version of Car Wars. In fact, actually, give me a minute. Hold up. Let me.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK. Making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today.
And I'm back. Found my copy of the Car Wars card game. Yeah, no, I love the card game. There was a gaming convention that took place in Southern California, OrCon, and there were couple of years that we went kind of as the club and everything, and it was fun because in downtime, like, we could pull out the card game and actually play it at the table. Quite enjoyed it. So yeah, geek bread. Speaking of Steve Jackson, that reminded me of a card game I played with the roast group called Shea Geek. That sounds super familiar. That's not the same vein as Munchkin, is it? Sounds familiar. Card games are the best. The card games are a lot of fun. we do enjoy a good card game. Probably get back to cooking a little bit, since people will be here in an hour. Okay, we should probably figure out this glaze. I realized in kind of putting together the recipe that one of the things that I was going to put into the glaze was soy sauce, but soy sauce, most of the time, has wheat in it. Munchkin is a lot of fun, though. No, you get a job and earn slack to spend at the premise. St. Mars did a lot of Munchkin and also does Dork Tower. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it sounded familiar. One of my favorite companies was the group Cheap Ass Games, and Lord of the Fries was a great game that we loved playing. And the other, what was one of the other titles that I loved? Unexploded Cow. That was a good one too. Okay, that's the potato timer. I smell potato. And I would show this on the oven cam, but the they're looking good. They're spreading apart like they should, so now we get to start basting them in that aroma oil.
Yes, I like.
Yeah, I was gonna roast the carrots in the oven, and then I realized that we were at the end of the last of the roast plate. And I was like, yeah, somebody forgot to go to the market and get more, and then somebody was me.
Busted.
I only got something I can do tomorrow.
Something to do tomorrow. Potatoes look good, apparently. Oh. You sliced them tiny.
Yes, it's called Hasselback.
Hasselback.
It's a style as opposed to a variety.
And you're spreading a yummy butter on them now?
No, aroma oil, because we can't have butter.
Can we put butter on mine?
Yes.
And yours?
Yes. And probably do that later when we're noshing. After keeping it.
How's everybody doing? Today was pretty good. We found a, okay, so I know the mail carrier at work. Judy is her name. And she saw one of our directors come in with this little tiny dog. Poppy is the cutest thing. This little tiny 5-pound Chihuahua Terrier mix, and her hair is in every direction, and her head talks back and forth. It's so cute. Anyways, Judy came running in. Oh my gosh, I gotta touch the dog. I'm like, you can't touch the dog. She's skittish, but you can come look at the dog. Did I say male carrier? Yes, she's a female. She identifies as female. Anyways, come to find out, this lady on her route, the last person on her route, is an older woman looking for a dog. And so we have a deal going on because it's the 4th of July this weekend, and that is the biggest season of the year because everyone doesn't know how to keep their pets inside, and most pets freak out with fireworks. And so they get lost, and they all come to the shelter, and so we're trying to get as many animals out as possible because starting Monday and Tuesday, we're going to get an influx of all of these animals. So keep your pets inside. Our dogs could care less about fireworks, but that's because we used to live next to Disneyland, and fireworks twice a day was nothing, but
It's true.
this little old lady came in. Judy went after work, picked her up, brought her in to look at some dogs. Well, guess what? The only small dogs in the criteria she wanted were all accounted for and had, you know, families ready to adopt them. Like, seriously? Anyways, I, working there, know people. So I started sending out my little feeler emails. Like, this is what I'm looking for. You tell me. And I got a response and found the perfect dog for them today. So, huzzah. And they're going to waive the fees so they don't have to pay full price. They get take advantage of the no adoption fee promo that we're doing right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was exciting. Not quite my job. I'm the accountant. But it's fun.
Oh, hi, Jane.
I got puppy. I left her outside.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, there she is. Poor little puppy. So high. She almost died. Oh, you poor thing.
Spare jug of maple syrup. There. Okay. I didn't want to add too much of the gochujang because it is pretty spicy. So my plan of action, I think, is we're gonna chop up.
Broccoli?
No. Would you write that down so I clip it?
Chopping broccoli.
Chopping broccoli. That's got to be a channel point, Redeem.
Chopping.
All right. So the maple syrup, gochujang, garlic. We'll saute the carrots up in a bit of grapeseed oil first. Get that going. Hit it with some salt. Then we'll put in Shaoxing cooking wine. Slap the top on to kind of steam it, and then we'll finish it off with the maple and gochujang. Get it tossed in that just to get a glaze on it, so then that way it doesn't burn and everything else.
Oh, Jang. It's our go-to Jang.
Gang gang.
Jagay. Jagay is the stew.
Stew. Yep.
Oh. What's Jang then?
I think sauce. Because gamjang is soy sauce. Gochujang is the chili paste. And then samjang is the mixed sauce that you put on like Korean barbecue. And the name is
good. I like what I'm seeing.
Thank you. Need to also chop up some parsley to sprinkle over the top of the potatoes at
Hey, let me get out of your way.
the end. Alright. So, fresh hits of garlic, maple syrup, gochujang. It's all stuck to the spoon still. That's fine. Okay, let's put this stuff away. Put that first. Yep, that's like I picked the right bag the first time. Sorry everyone, gotta run. The potatoes are looking bomb. Hope everything else is amazing too. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks, Accidental Chaos. Take care, man. Thanks for stopping in and being here for even a little while today. It's appreciated. Yeah, let's give these guys a wash and then strip them down and chop them up. Actually, I probably need more. So we'll most likely do the dish yourself up in the kitchen kind of thing. Wouldn't Judy be a female carrier? Yeah, it could be. Buy enough of that stuff to get a rebate. Would that be a So's Jang redemption? That one went over my head. I didn't get that one. Stripping parsley, bane of culinary students everywhere in existence. You have to do it literally all the time, and it's always annoying. I actually want to hang on to the stems, since those can get added to stock and I can freeze those. It's kind of funny, these types of meals tend to be a lot of hurry up and wait, kind of like today, where it's like, okay, we gotta get it going, we gotta get it going, we gotta get it going. It's like, okay, now we can chill. Not gonna lie, I kind of plan that sometimes, so then that way it's like, oh, okay, cool, like I can do stuff ahead, and then I can just kind of hang out or chill for a while, and then, you know, periodically check on things, just to make sure that everything has gone smoothly. And that way I also have sufficient time in the event that, you know, something goes wrong. I'm not having to have people sit around waiting for food. More often than not, we end up waiting for people. Like, I'll have food ready to go right on time, but then people will be late. That's just how it goes. Okay. I'm okay with a little bit of stem, but I prefer not to have too much of it in the parsley. Cilantro, on the other hand, the stems are great. Made myself laugh inside. I was thinking about spreading the parsley on the potatoes at the very end, and suddenly it was just like, oh, okay, I'm making up new lyrics to the song Raining Blood. Raining parsley from a minced up sky. Garnish against horror. Garnish my destruction, now I shall rain in parsley. I don't need teeny tiny bits, but I do want some smaller bits, so it's not suddenly like, hey, I got a mouthful of parsley. Alright. Parsley done. spice hasn't come through just yet. But I imagine it will. I only want a little bit of heat, like some warmth. I don't really want a ton of like... Okay. Have a good drive, Lumpy Pickle. See you in a bit. Raining gummy bears from a masticated sky. Ew. I mean, if they're raining from a masticated sky, what that tells me is that you're unable to chew completely. You're just lazy, like... Alright. Okay, now that that's more mixed in, let's try it now. Okay, there it is. Nice. Get that sweetness, and you get a bit of just a touch of heat, which is all I wanted. Alright, so keep that spoon rinse. Okay. Since we have a moment, get this cleaned up, and we can prep for when the pork is done. So the pork currently has 12 minutes on the time. And let's 5:43, 12 minutes on that. So 55 is when that is up. Then we got to let it come down in pressure. Probably 15 minutes of coming down, then I'll take it outside to vent. So then that way we can separate out, we can pull out the pork, I can get all the solids into the Vitamix craft, and then we can add the liquid that we've separated the fat out of. Hey, Zodic, have you missed all the good stuff? They're rejected by Chupacabra. Oh, there you go. So at the moment, kind of. Did a lot of prep work ahead of time. Well, let me rephrase. So the pork roast that we have going in the Instant Pot, which we can't see because it's down here. This doesn't really want to move very much, or else that and moving it when it's under pressure is usually not a good idea. Anyways, so the Instant Pot's down here. The pork roast needed 1 hour 15 under pressure, but leading up to that, we needed to do a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time. And at about 2-ish, I realized, if as much as I'd like to do this on stream, because we have people coming over at 6:30, I can't just kind of take my time. So some of this I needed to get done ahead of time. So what I did was, I had seasoned the pork roast earlier today and had been chilling in the fridge. I chopped up a large onion, some mushrooms, some celery, some carrots, and some garlic. Seared off the pork roast, and then in that same pan, I cooked all that vegetation and got some color on it, and then deglazed it with a bottle of apple cider. And then all that went into the Instant Pot, set the time, let it do its thing. Then we got the potatoes in the oven. The potatoes were probably going to need about 1.5 hours, so it was kind of those, we had to get going on them. We're doing the potatoes Hasselback style, which, if you're not familiar with them, it's when you have a, somewhat sizable potato, I'll just use this one for reference. And what you do is you do a series of really thin, oh, here, hang on. So you got your potato, and then you do a series of really thin cuts across it, and it kind of like accordions open as you bake it. But because those were going to need about an hour and a half, again, they needed to get into the oven as soon as possible. So we knocked those out. And we've got an aroma oil very slowly simmering on the stove because at least one of the guests has a gluten allergy and a dairy issue. So no butter, no sour cream, no milk. And since there's no gluten in anything that we're making here, that's fine too. So we're making an aroma oil. And in that, I'm using grapeseed oil, which, you know, I use all the time. And there is garlic, rosemary, and thyme. The potatoes have salt and pepper on them already. And we've already checked the potatoes, and we've done the first basting. So that's kind of where we're at. Dude, you're going to change my eating habits. Well, you know what? Hey, if your eating habits get better and you start eating better, then mission accomplished, you know? Although I need to say that from the deck of an aircraft carrier. That always makes me giggle. But, yay. Whatever I can do to help, man. You know how to get a hold of me. So, yeah. Then the last thing that we're going to be doing is carrots. They were going to be roasted, but I had forgotten to get more of the grill foil that I use, and I ran out. So we had to pivot a little bit, and now we're going to do them on the stovetop. And those aren't going to take all that long. And I'm just using baby carrots as opposed to like peeling and chopping up a bunch of carrots. Because, like I said, it was one of those things that I was going to need to get them into the oven, at least when I went to the market earlier. So they're going to be sautéed up first, salt and pepper. Then we're going to add some Shaoxing cooking wine to steam them and slap a lid on it for a little bit so they soften up. And then we're going to add a mix of maple syrup, chopped up garlic, and gochujang, which is the Korean chili paste. And then that's going to, we're going to do a final glaze with it. So it'll be a sweetened little bit of heat on the carrots to go with everything else. So that is... that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, it's 5:48. And of course, I elected to reset the time. And you know what? Okay. So here's our completed aroma oil. Smells amazing. The garlic, it's a little brown, but it's not burnt. Because if it goes too far, it just gets super bitter. And we've got the fresh rosemary and thyme in there, and yeah, it smells amazing. What I'll probably do later is strain it out. So then that way, I just have the oil that I can use on basically whatever I want. Actually, this would probably be really good to like saute up like eggs. Vegetation really would be fantastic this way. Oh, thanks, Zodek. I appreciate that. Alright, so that is Dunzo. I'm gonna check the procedures. Not entirely certain I brought this back over if I was to do this. Alright, so here are the potatoes so far. And they're coming along. Although I kind of feel like they can stand to be separated a little bit, because it looks like some of these are a little stuck together. And I want to get that space in there so that that aroma oil just, oh, see? That was kind of, yeah, these are slightly welded together at almost. So I'm glad I'm doing this. I don't normally make, this is actually, well, I should say, I don't normally. This is the first time I've actually ever made Hasselbacks. I remember when they started appearing like on social media and everybody started freaking out about them. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's, you know, kind of cool, but at the same time, I couldn't say that I was sold on them. Just from the standpoint of, you know, it's like, oh, okay, that, you know, if it's only like 1 or 2 people, okay, sure, no problem. You know, because doing them for 1 or 2 people is, you know, kind of easy. But if you started doing them for a group, then it's like, oh, dude, that is no good. I'm very glad I decided to do this. A lot of these are in dire need of being spread apart. And that way they can get all that yummy goodness in there. And it's interesting because you see photos on, actually you just do a Google image search for them, and people will stuff cheese in between every slice. I've seen people like do bay leaves and other things in there, and they look fantastic. But then again, I think about things from, you know, I'm making them for, you know, a group as opposed to just 2 people. Although really I am making stuff for 2 people. Although tonight it's 6. Okay, good. Knife has been run through. Oh! Timer is up on the Instant Pot. And I am thinking, now the question is will I be able to take the foil that's on the tray here, which there's a not insignificant amount. Will this end in disaster? Crisis averted. Okay. Yeah, I want to try and get the aroma oil down in there. So that one it has, you know, the yummy goodness down in there, and hopefully helps it run. back into the oven. Alright, let's set 15 minutes timer on that. Alright, so that's good to go. Let's grab those. Curious if anybody's watching anything that they're particularly enjoying at the moment.
You mean like Stranger Things that comes out tomorrow?
Yeah, the last of Stranger Things comes out tomorrow. We've got Star Trek Strange New Worlds tonight. We got the Orville tonight.
That weird Korean drama that's here?
Yeah, we started a short, kind of a mini Korean TV series called, I think it's called Money Heist. It's based off of a Spanish TV show, and it's been really interesting so far. So we've been enjoying that. Yeah, kind of curious what else everyone's been enjoying. Do Hallmark movies count? To be fair, that's all you guys ever watch, Avocado Green KitchenAid.
Hallmark movies are good.
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
It smells really good.
It does.
I wish we were eating right now.
I'm sorry. I need stuff. Fat separator. Strainer. Yup. And actually, I should probably get something out of the pork on. That's right, ghosts.
That's right, ghosts.
Oh, hi, little puppy. What have you eaten today?
I didn't have an afternoon snack.
Oh. Okay, so we got that, we got that.
I love this platter.
It's a cool platter.
I got
Show
this
it on the camera here.
A local person made it. Well, I don't know how local, but it was at one of those farmers markets.
My guess, actually, no, you know what? I have no idea.
You weren't with me. I was with our Texas friends.
Oh, okay.
Over in that part of town. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to own it. It will be mine. Oh yes. And one of our more expensive platters. Not the most expensive, but definitely one of our more expensive. I've had it for a number of years. Oh, I needed
a thing?
I needed a bar towel.
Okay. Which I washed a bunch of those today, by the way.
Nice.
Oh! That actually reminds me. There we go. hand towel for the bathroom. Just remember that I washed that. Bowl full of air, low calorie for sure. Yeah. Fat separator. Called a belt. Yeah, bowls of air are definitely low cal. Only problem is your body can't do well. Well, I shouldn't say your body can't do too much. They can do quite a bit. They kind of need it. So.
Just ain't naked and afraid.
Yeah, ain't naked and afraid. Okay, let's see. 6. I'm thinking I should probably get the carrots going.
Okay. Plates.
No. Probably something for the gravy. That's true. Curious if the camera came back online. Nope. Camera's still down. I don't think there'll be a need for that.
Carrots are good.
You decided you were gonna have yourself a baby carrot?
Yeah, that's my moose bouche. Moose bouche.
That's what I was told.
Well, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard. I was told it was going to be 2 and 2.
Dose and dose.
That's right, dose and dose. That's right, ghosts. Seven minutes on the timer for the potatoes to check those again. Carrots are going. In about 10 minutes, I'll probably take the pork outside to vent. And then, yeah, go time.
Good game.
Thanks.
Oh, I gotta wait 30 more minutes. Low calorie for sure. I had a low calorie lunch. It was half sandwich and a little salad.
Oh, you finished off that sandwich?
Yeah. And I should have had an afternoon snack, but I was busy running around getting that dog fillet
Oh, okay.
lady, talking to the people. And then I did some actual accounting.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I should do my job.
That's overrated.
I do payroll too, and I finally learned how to ask for time off. So
Finally?
yeah. So I got officially
Approved.
approved for the 4th of July and then those days in August
Oh, nice.
for
Stuff.
stuff. For stuff.
Stuff, go stuff. You know, the birria taco consomme would probably be good on those taters too. You're absolutely right. They would be. And thankfully, I saved it. It's out in the fridge in the garage.
We could give it a whirl.
Well, actually, I was thinking what we would do tomorrow night for dinner is probably have...
Those tacos again, because I only got one?
Yeah, well, I'm going to make the tacos again so Mrs. Hueso can have more than the one that she did, because she had to leave for a meeting. Wah wah. That we can make nachos with them too. So.
These chips and those black beans?
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Yes. Well, I can make more black beans too.
And black beans are good for you.
They are. As are pinto beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone know what the yeah quote is from?
Probably not.
Pretty obscure. A History Channel show. I'll let you guess a little bit and then I won't say.
Oh man. So I was watching another stream last night, and it was the streamer's birthday, and their community was incredibly generous.
That's awesome.
And showing much love to the streamer. And to be honest, I think it was pretty well deserved, in my opinion. One of the gifts that they opened up last night was a set of those Logitech Mevo cameras, the 3 cameras. And that was a gift from an anonymous person.
That's awesome.
It was super awesome. I was like shocked, but I'm like, you know what? Kudos to you. That's amazing. Like, I would honestly, I aspire to have some Mevos. Oh man, could you imagine this with like 6 of those cameras? That'd be amazing.
Well, something to work for.
Uh-huh.
How much are they?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely something to work for, and that's kind of my goal, is to work to that point so then I can have them and everything. The 3-pack is $1,000.
Okay.
So it's not entirely unreasonable, especially considering the fact that some of the cameras that some of the like upper echelon of streamers use are like $3,000-$4,000, like the Sony Alpha cameras and stuff like that. But those wireless cameras would be amazing, because then I can take down wires and it'd be awesome. So, streamer goals.
Always good to have goals.
Two minutes on the potatoes. You don't think about I won't be thinking about that 3 hours later. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But the consommé came out awesome. So, yeah, I think it will be great on the potatoes. And probably I will be thinking about it in a couple of hours. Because I'm inevitably going to get hungry later. So. Oh well. I'm just stirring up the aroma oil down here.
Yeah, actually, counting my macros has taught me that I'd rather have 6 small meals than 3 big meals. But I didn't do that today. That's why I'm starving. Hey.
Hey. Ditto.
What time did you go to bed?
I
I went to bed early.
Yes, you did. No,
I woke up and I feel like you were already in bed.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was around midnight or something like that.
So here's a funny haha. The other night I could have swore I woke up at 12:30. I go to the bathroom, and when I come back to bed, it's 1:11. So did I fall asleep in the bathroom? Wouldn't put it past me. But, you know, not the most comfortable place.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah. I could have swore it was 12:30, but maybe not.
Alright.
This garlic oil smells amazing.
Shaoxing going in.
This reminds me of 40 cooked chicken.
Yeah.
That's what it smells a lot like that dish. Which that's something you could make on stream.
Yes, yes it is.
By you, I mean me. I want to learn all of these meals so that, you know, when you kick it, because men kick it early, I'll be prepared to eat.
Statistically speaking, that is correct.
I don't want you to kick it, just so we're clear.
I know.
I want you to live a long life.
Okay, I'm coming through with a hot tray.
Okay. Those look fantastic. I'm gonna go out with the dogs. Come on, little dogs. You're gonna feed them now?
Actually, I think that would be a good idea, feeding them now.
Time for another good idea.
Before people get here and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you've ever watched Curse of Oak Island.
It's from Curse of Oak Island. Not this past season, but the season before, they brought on this, a woman getting her doctorate. So I assume she's smarter than the editors made her. But all she ever said was,
At least on the show.
That season. Last season they had her actually speaking, using words, but
before that it was nothing but
stick 'em in a stew. Come on, girl, you're a doctorate. You can say more than that.
Yeah, there's more to her. There has to be. Okay.
No, just because you're educated doesn't mean you're smart.
That is true, because we know people like that. Excuse me, Jane. Okay.
There's a lady I know, she wrote an apartment manager's blog. You want to go out and read it?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, she was near a hospital, so they would rent to residents all the time. And, you know, there's stories of, oh, there's no lights in here. Yeah, plug a lamp in. When I take a shower, water gets on the floor. Yeah, buy a shower curtain. Yeah. So... Book smart doesn't mean actual smart.
We're living in the curse of the woke planet. Yeah, something to that effect. You used to watch Oak Island until you figured out that once they find anything of any real importance, the show's over. Yeah. And to be fair, like, every season it's like, okay, we're that much closer, but...
I don't know. They found nothing. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but they found nothing. And the millions... tens of millions they've put into finding nothing is crazy. But hey, it's your money. Do with it what you wish.
I would be really, really interested just to kind of find out, like, how much the brothers and all of them are actually paid for doing the show. Because I'm kind of curious how much their costs are offset by by History Channel funding.
Yeah?
I'd rather be woke than asleep.
Well, we get woke. SNL has this hilarious woke skit. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, there's apparently a lot of people got upset about.
We all can't be the same. Life is too boring if we're the same. Whew, rosemary smells good. It's from the garden.
Yep. Okay. Glaze going in.
What are you guys having for dinner? Anything exciting?
It smells.
I had a real hard time with Oak Island the first couple of seasons because it really was finding nothing. Like, you're spending millions of dollars with nothing to show for it. At least now they're finding some artifacts that are semi-relevant.
Well, and there's also like the Stone Road.
Right, and that's super interesting, but I don't know. We're so excited because there's 0.02 piece, X thing of gold in the water. I'm like, oh, yay! You can't divvy that up amongst everyone and all their money. And
Here's your nickel.
Here's your portion, half a cent.
Okay, that.
Yeah, Scott Conner, Taco Bell. Stay away from it. We tried it. We actually tried it. What was it?
Like a year ago?
Yeah, maybe a year ago. We decided.
No. It was.
I don't know.
It was almost 3 years ago because it was pre-pandemic.
Coming into the marriage, we decided we'd never go. But yeah, during the pandemic, it was like, well, maybe we should give it a try. Some people like it. That was nothing but regret and shame. Pure regret and shame. And it was like $35. Outrageous.
Okay.
I wonder what it costs now that food's gone up.
Carrots are tender crisp.
Tender crisp.
Yes. So they're tender, but they still got a bit of crunch to them. All right. We're at 17. When the potatoes came out this last time, I figured I'm going to leave them in until the very end, just to let them kind of do their thing. At this point in time, I'm going to take the Instant Pot here, and I'm going to go take it outside to vent. Okay.
Not that I'm that entertaining.
All right. So if you would open the sliding glass door.
Woo!
And then I'm going to take this out to the patio real quick.
There you go. Bagel! So it's just us. What do you want to talk about? DK likes rainbows, dreams. Some of that's true. Oh my gosh. Scott Conner thought regret and shame was wearing Crocs. There's a lady.
Are you making fun of Nick?
There's a lady at work. She's the director of development. I mean, she's one of the top dogs. Tiny little woman. Itty bitty tiny thing. She,
Step back.
Step back.
There you go.
Tiny little woman. She dresses in like sleeping bag clothes, which, it's your body, do what you want. Anyway, she loves to wear these camouflage Crocs that have like a lift in them, so it makes her taller. I'm just like, really? That's what you're wearing? You make way more money than I do. Ghost shows. My favorite ghost show is called Kindred Spirits. Yeah, sleeping bag clothes. That's what they look like. Like, girl, you got a figure. Use it,
The big puffy stuff.
Yeah, but her pants are pretty crazy. Yeah, Kindred Spirits is my favorite ghost show. It's Amy Brumini and Adam. I forget his name, but they go. They were part of TAPS for a while, which was the Atlantic Paranormal Society, I guess, on that.
Okay. You and me?
But they're not about. Most ghost shows are about like provoking and making things angry and like making it an angry thing. And this is just, let's come and talk about it. And I'm sure it's fake, but it's fun entertainment. There's a life after death. Why not? Why not? Does anybody else like ghost shows? We used to watch TAPS a long time ago. But well, and it has come back on, but we don't really watch that stuff anymore. Not together. I was gonna say pull the bone out. Huh?
It is. There we go. And we'll break this up a little later.
Yeah, I used to watch Dead Files, but I don't watch that one so much more. That one's pretty fun.
Okay.
That's about it for ghost shows, though. It smells amazing. Not only it looks amazing, but it smells amazing. And now he's gonna make amazing gravy.
Amazing gravy.
I want you in my belly.
Yep.
Love,
Stuff. It is the little things. All that yummy goodness.
We're gonna sit under the brightest lights ever.
Oh.
Like, oh, baby, you didn't change light bulbs back.
Oh boy.
That's okay. At least we'll see each other.
Well, I want to say the old ones are there on the end table, so in theory I can swap them out.
Eh. But who cares? Alright.
What are you doing?
I was trying to get the bone out. I was trying to be a helper.
Alright.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yes, it just came out.
I did it! Ooh, that's hot.
Yes. Got this. Okay. The hardware store.
One right here.
Yep.
There. Good.
So here's what we're looking at. And let's pop the plug in. Okay. Plug back in and get the rest of this. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna hang on to that as a reserve. I want to get this all blitzed up first. Just to kind of see where we're at. Now would be a good time to either hit the mute button, or actually, I could hit the mute button myself. And we're back. So, let me get a little sauce. Oh. So that's the consistency that we're currently working with. And that was just from pureeing up the vegetables that was in there with everything else. Vitamix, where you want to make gravy, but also pulverize diamonds into fine powder. This is very true. Hey, babe. Come here. Did you just sit down?
Yes.
Figures.
I literally just sat down.
Oh, hi, dogs.
That's okay. I love you. If I wag my tail, do I get a treat?
Yes.
Excellent.
That's with nothing added, other than,
You don't need to add a whole lot. Maybe
No.
salt, but I wouldn't.
yeah, maybe a touch of salt.
But it's like barely any salt.
I'm also thinking maybe just a splash of, like a splash of vinegar.
If you want. Let's try this meat. It's important. We're feeding this to guests.
Meat nugget.
You don't want to be like, no, it's not food. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was doing.
I don't think we need that vinegar. Hey, no dying.
We'll give that one more quick puree. That should be good. So there we go. Yeah, so that's, like, honestly, since I've started, like, pureeing the vegetation and everything into the gravy itself, like, I've never needed to use a thickener. Yeah, there we go. That is super delish. Yeah, I didn't even need that. That's awesome. Okay, so there's the bone. There's the pork roast. So now we can kind of cut into it. It's like halfway between sliceable and shreddable. Vera barking tells me that people are actually here. But it's still sliceable in the center. Which is kind of the consistency I was aiming for, but I think if I had let it go another like 15 minutes or so under pressure and then let it naturally release the entire way, I think that would have yielded more of a shreddy kind of consistency. Okay, so let's a little bit of our pork. Oh, people are here.
Yeah. Not everybody.
There's some of the carrots, and people are in the house. That's good. Okay, folks. Oh, snap. Chicken skins out? Okay. We're gonna go raid Grant. Because people are here. We gotta eat. Thank you everyone for being here. Love you guys. Hang on. There he is. Okay, cool. All right. Take care, guys. We'll see you Saturday, all right? Have a good one, folks.